Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It's another weekend, and this is a weekend, y'all, where I brought help. We are going to take care of this main garden area today. We are going to push it, and we're going to work on this redesign. Hi, everybody. My name is Kim. I'm in Southwest Ohio. We are on November 1st? What is today? November 1st. And I've been trying to work on my garden redesign for a couple of months now. And I'm getting way behind with my business and travel schedule and everything. So y'all, I brought in reinforcements. I got my brother here who's going to help me finish taking care of this main garden area this weekend. We're going to get as much done as we can get done. And my goal is to get it all done. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing today. See, he's already started and I'm up here running my mouth. So we already have this bed, that bed there, coming on around. We got a bed already over here. And what we're doing now is going ahead and getting this 10-foot wooden raised bed out. And since we already had beds here that we've already started, we already got the base of the beds together, we are digging the soil up and adding that soil to the beds that are already in place. And we will be able to put the next metal raised bed in this space. Now, y'all know, I just got home from my business trip. I didn't even go home. I went I went west to go pick my brother up so I could make sure he was here this Saturday morning to help us in the garden. And y'all, we're getting old. We're not as young as we used to. We got to take a lot of breaks. And so we're going to work as much as we can. And when we need to break, we will break. But let me get over here and help him out. I'll do the light work. I'll let him handle that heavy lifting. But let me get over here and get started. And I will do a voiceover or something like that, explaining the steps that we're taking. So I've been gone for a week and I haven't even got a chance to see. But y'all, here's our bed that we're going to try to push the limits on. Look at that. I got lettuce back there. I got turnip greens, mustard greens. I got all of my cabbage over there. Now this bed is fully ready to go. We don't need to do anything to this bed, but all of the other beds, y'all, it's time to top them off with some of this soil. And so all of these other beds here, we're going to top them off with this soil because we can't waste any of the soil. And all of this soil is some type of potting mix because I wasn't always using Happy Frog. But now I use Happy Frog for everything. So even though we're filling this bed up, we'll make sure we don't fill it all the way to the top because when we get ready to start that bed back up next season, I will absolutely top that bed off with Happy Frog. Someone asked me, does Happy Frog ever go on sale? And the cheapest I have ever seen Happy Frog anywhere is at a store called Rural King. And I've seen those stores, at least in the Midwest. I hear there are a few down in the South, but they have their soil at least $10 cheaper than I've seen anywhere else. And usually early in the spring, it's even cheaper than that. And so when it goes on sale, I always post that it's on sale and I pick up as much as I can. So, but we can't lose what we already have. So we're going to finish working on that. Yeah, everything's put together with screws. So we probably just need to zip them screws out. Let me go grab it. It's just right here in the garage. I left it out here. Oh, yeah. There's 4 skunks living up under that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't have my gloves. Unlike you, I need gloves. I gotta get my gloves. I can't do it. So I got this GreenStalk here ready to go in the house, Garrett. I got it already pulled back and everything. All 4 of these tiers gonna go in the house sometime today. I'm using as much as I can as green matter. I didn't get nothing. That's a waste. Everybody out here doing something. Mom's in the front yard cleaning out the green stalks. I can't use that other thing. Everybody always want to know, where's the shovel? Well, there's the shovel, but I just can't use the shovel. I don't know why. But I can use my big green scoop. Dirt everywhere, huh? Okay, folks, we're going to keep cleaning this bed up. I'm going to turn the camera off to save the battery, but we'll bring you back so you can see how it looks. So one of the other things that we're doing, since we're out here, we're winterizing the green stalks that's going to stay out here for the winter. So we are taking all of the support systems off. Ooh, it's hot. It's cold, but it's hot. My brother's still over there working on those beds, and I was kind of in his way, so I thought I'll come over here and work on a different project. We got one bed out. I'll show you in just a minute. And we're almost done getting a second bed out. And there's a total of, how many I say, five? Five beds and all. But you see everybody over here working, y'all. You see that? Little Charlie's working. My mom's out here. Y'all tell everybody hi. They're always asking about you. Hi. They're not used to talking to you like I am. So I just look right there and I'll be like, hey, how y'all doing? I just can't believe how these flowers are holding up with all of this cold weather. She's dropping more than she's holding, huh? Now, there's still some cool season crops over here. And, you know, we'll let them live as long as they decide to live. But at least we'll have all of the trellising off of them. Oh, I smell that skunk again. Maybe they'll move away. All right, it's time for an update on what we're doing over here. So this is one of those 11-inch metal raised beds that we had in the main garden that we had kind of just pushed to the side. We've moved all of our green stalks back onto the patio so that we could put this bed right here. Charlie's bringing me some green matter that she needs to make sure is all the way inside the bed and not sticking outside the bed. And then we will add some of the soil to this bed as removing soil from the main garden area. So let me go over to the main garden area and show you what we finished over there as well. So we filled this bed up already with lots and lots of soil. And over here, we got a bed out here. We got the bed out that was right here. We're moving all of the soil and everything out of this space. So this area right here, all we got left to do is kind of level it out. And then we'll be able to put a bed in here tomorrow, not today. And then we got the last 3 beds in the front. I had to come out of my coat. I got short sleeves on now because it's warming up. You know, hard work, a little sweat. We're in good shape. But we're going to finish filling this bed up with the green matter and get that dirt in this bed so we can keep moving. These 2 green stalks, we've already got everything out of those green stalks, as well as making sure that we have all of the support systems out as well. Over here in this space here, we've cut out all of the tomato plants and everything. And you really should think twice before you use, y'all, I was getting ready to run, something was touching me. Life was going to be over for me or whatever was touching me. But anyway, typically what I hear is that you should not use your tomato plants or your potato plants as your green matter. You shouldn't like put it in your compost and that kind of stuff, because what if it has some kind of spores or disease or something like that? So I don't recommend doing that. I'm going to do it, but I'm not recommending that you do that. We'll see what happens when next year comes, but those are two type plants that you really should be careful of using it as compost. All right, we're going to keep moving. Look at my working family, y'all. I have such an amazing working family. Look at that. GreenStalk gardener over there. GreenStalk gardeners over there. Vego gardeners over here as well. Let me get back to work, y'all. Okay, y'all, the project has expanded just a little bit. Since I have help, I figured I better get all of this done while I have help. So in the front right here, y'all, this has always been my grape area right here, but it was just taking up way too much space. So we are narrowing the grape area. We took the fire rings out. I had 3 fire rings. I'll spin around and show them to you. But I've moved one of my green metal raised beds to this spot right here versus the fire rings, because they're just really too big for this space. So I can open up walking on both sides. But in here, y'all, I had wood. Let me show you. So here are the 3 fire rings right here. And so they were right where you see that green bed next to my brother there. That's where they were. In the bottom, we had wood in all 3 of those fire rings. Now, we had to remove some of that wood to get the bed to fit in that space right there. But we put some of it back, but that wood is breaking down. It's got all the goodness attached to it. And we put some of it back, and some of it we'll relocate to another bed. But if we're going to do it, y'all, we might as well do it right. What do you think, Garrett? He said, that's it, y'all. Anyway, so getting back over here, kind of showing you what we're doing. There was a lot of soil in those 3 fire rings, a ton of soil. And so we're adding that soil back into this bed. Now, we also had strawberries in this bed. And usually, y'all, those strawberries over there, that's usually where I go to get extra strawberries for my GreenStalk vertical towers. And I have 3 42 pocket GreenStalks with nothing but strawberries in it. But when I reset up every year, usually some of them just don't make it. And where I normally get my strawberries versus going to buy them, I will get runners from that space over there where I just showed you. And so there's a ton of strawberries right here, a ton of strawberries that we pulled up from that space. And I don't know if this is going to work, but my goal is to plant them in this bed here just for now, just so we can try to preserve some of them and not have to buy any next year. It might not work, but I have nothing to lose, because we would have just been pulling them out if I didn't try to put them in this bed. So I'm going to put them in this bed here and one other bed that we're setting up that we're done for the season, and see if they survive and they can make up the difference for the GreenStalk strawberries that don't make it. But our goal is to not replant the trees. That's our goal. We only want to move the strawberries, not the trees. So let me get back over there. Let's finish working on that space. And then I think we're almost ready to put the weed barrier down. I think there's only 2 more beds to come out. And y'all, these 3 fire rings, they still have a place in my garden. I don't know what that place is just yet, but they will still have a place in my garden growing some type of delicious food. But they just don't need to be where they were. All right, y'all. This is as level as I'm going to get it. I just want to be honest with you. This is it. We will worry about it being level later. And now it's time for us to put the weed barrier down. And if you recall, if you've been following me in Redesign episodes 1 and 2 and 3 and all of those, we added some, I think it's 5 weight, 5, I'll put it up on the side here. It's 5.2, 5.8 or something weighted weed barrier. And I cut it, I think it was about 11 feet. So it's from the garage all the way to this spot right here. Well, now we're gonna cut pieces, but we're gonna overlap. We're gonna be somewhere back here and we're gonna go all the way to the end of the main garden area. And when I bring you back, you're gonna see how smooth and level it looks, even though it's not really level. But I'll bring you back when we get to that point. So I am in the process of cutting 16-foot length weed barrier, and I'm on the fourth one. I lined it up against this wood, this piece of wood right here, and I'm using my butane torch to cut it versus using a utility knife or scissors or shears or anything like that. It's a much faster process. Well, it's a faster process until you're about to run out of fuel anyway. Let me say that. Yeah, I'm out of fuel. Anyway, I'll put some more fuel in here and you see the process that I'm using. And my hands are not tired because I've been using shears and utility knives and all of that kind of stuff. All right, I just wanted to show you how much overlap we are really doing in this space here. We are overlapping at least 2 feet on either side. We're going as far that way as we can, but if you've been following me, you know that there is a layer of wood, there's a layer of pea gravel, there's a layer of all kinds of stuff up under this space here. So where we couldn't get through the wood, we just overlapped it and pulled it back this way. But I want to make sure that there are no issues with weeds coming up in between the different layers of the weed barrier. I mean, if the weeds coming in, they coming in from the top. They not coming in from the bottom. So we're going to just keep pushing through, and I'm going to keep cutting more weed barrier. I will have links to the weed barrier if I can find it or something similar, so you know everything that I use. This is a huge roll of weed barrier that I'm using right now. Y'all, I am in the shadows, but y'all see the garden is empty. All of the beds are out. The ground is level. The paper is down, or weed barrier is down. And we got one more thing that we want to do before we call it for the day. And that's to figure out what we're going to do with our grapes over here from a trellising standpoint. Now, if I try to trellis the grapes too high, let me bring you in close. All right. It's getting chilly again to me. All right, so if we think about this, last time I kind of had it bowed around, right? If I bow again, that's an option, right? That is an option to kind of bow it around. I want to make sure I keep a good walkway here. I don't have any beds over there yet, but I do want beds to be over there, and I need to make sure I maintain a walkway. So bowing is still probably the best option. I've already cut my grapevines back for the year as well. I want to make sure I don't damage them in the process here. But this one's been growing back on this side. It's going to be hard for it to catch from the front. So I could keep it straight and just get it up close to the bed. The thing about the grapes is that it shades anything behind it out. So I'm going to have to leave a space or it's going to get shaded out by the grapes. I got 4 more beds. So we got options. That's the key. We got a lot of space in here and a lot of options. Like I was going to put one bed over here. I was going to put one in between, put one right there. Because one of the other things I'm trying to do is keep deer from wanting to come into your garden. So if deer don't have a clear path through, they won't come in. And so I never had a problem with deer coming into my garden until I started the redesign, and it left an open path all the way through. And so that's why I zigzag my beds. If I had 2020 and I had to do it all over again, the grapes would be back there.
Yeah.
The grapes would be back there and not up here, but it's a good barrier from keeping things from coming into the garden. Ooh, I need my sweater.
You and me both.
Shoot, goodness. Uh-oh, did I break it? I just need to pull this one and go up one. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Just hold that for me. Now, will it fit? There we go. Don't that fit so much better?
How much can you cut off without killing it? Like,
It won't die. You're only supposed to have 1 or 2 runners anyway. And I got 1, 2, 3 runners coming off of it. So we're in good shape. Me too. Let me get my sweater. Where is it? It's way over here. Woo-wee. Y'all, we done got cold now. That means the day is almost over. Big difference, right? It's supposed to be warmer in the afternoon, but when you don't have the sun, they lie. Take this one back over here. That's where it needs to be. And I can put a little pot or something here and a little pot or something on that end and just keep it straight. I just want to make sure I got my walkway, which I do have. So I'm happy with this. All right, y'all, we're going to call it quits because it's getting cold again. And we've got a ton of work done. I think this is Garden Redesign Part 4, I believe it is. 1, 2, 3, yes, 4. And so we have everything set up, ready to accept the new design. My brother came in from Indiana to help me out so we can get this done in one weekend. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing to Kim's Cozy Corner, turning on notifications and telling your friends and your family all about it. Y'all, hopefully this will be the last time I redesign the garden for many, many years to come. But we got to work on where we're going to put these new metal raised beds and keeping sunlight in mind. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you decide to hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.